My name is Roy Chiato, like a macchiato. I'm a coffee-fueled host with the most professional voice actor, and I absolutely love working out. Guess you couldn't tell. Welcome in, guys. I hope you're all doing fantastic today. Welcome to CitrusCon 2026. I see at least one person with an icon that's just me. What the heck?
Little did you know,
That's
we have
insane.
cloned you for the audience.
That's insane. That's crazy. Wild, wacky, inflatable arm flailing tube man. But yeah, guys, welcome in. We're gonna be doing an entirety of a Q&A session today, moderated by my lovely host here. They'll be picking out questions and things for me to answer. I'm pretty open to answering a lot of things. If you've ever been to any of my streams or anything like that, you know I'm very much an open book. But in case you guys don't know me and you're just like, wow, there's a himbo bunny boy that's gonna talk and yap. Like I said, my name is Roy Chiato. I am a professional voice actor. I have an ASMR audio roleplay channel called Cup of Dusk Voices. You can hear things like BFE, boyfriend experience, fantasy roleplay, serious, more villain-oriented roleplay. A lot of really fun stuff. But I also voice act in several projects across the internet. I won't list too many of them, but they're out there if you find them. I have voiced in some anime. I've voiced in some YouTube projects. And things along those lines. And I actively stream on Twitch and YouTube. You may have just seen me streaming up until about 10 minutes ago. If any of you follow me. So, yeah. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it in terms of introductions. If there's any questions, curiosities, things that you guys especially want to know, this is the place to do it. And have some fun. This is CitrusCon's a bit more on the how do we describe it? How would you describe CitrusCon in terms of its openness for types of questions?
We're all feral. There's
There
no way to pretend anything. It's feral but friendly. People only bite with permission.
You have permission. So, with that being said, be feral, be happy, be excited, be degen as much as you guys like to be. Enjoy yourselves. We're here to have a good time. We know why we're here. And yeah, let's start from there. I think that's all for introductions. Do you need me to say anything else?
I don't think so. I've seen a lot of people in here already saying that they check out your ASMR work or follow your streams. So
hey,
people who are also fans in here, which is super exciting.
That is exciting.
And then it looks like Sprite is asking a question about your thoughts on being shipped with other VTubers.
Sure. So I'm usually totally okay with it. The big thing is though, in what capacity? It sounds weird to say it like this, but I get around. Like I have a lot of friends in different places. I'm very active in voice acting scene. I do my Power Rangers related stuff where I react to things. I'm in this giant GTA roleplay server currently called District V. So like I know a lot of people, and I know a lot of people like to have fun and ship me with other people or other people with me and vice versa. My rules tend to be like, have fun with it. Don't be weird. Don't think that it's canon. Don't think that it's like a real relationship. Don't think that it's something that's actually happening. If you want to draw fan art of it, for sure, go for it. Have fun. Just, be respectful of me and the other person that you're including, or the other people that you're including, because, hey, I've got two hands for a reason and plenty of places to grab for a reason. But yeah, just use your best judgment, especially when it comes to other people. I am significantly more open when it comes to literally everything. So, yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities that don't cross the line, kind of, with the vibe I get from most YouTubers.
Yeah, because like I always err on the side of caution, especially because a lot of people that I work with tend to be on the corporate side of things, and they generally are not allowed to do the more spicy, risque stuff. But with my independent friends, with my OCs, things like that, have fun so long as it's acceptable. Like I said, use your better judgment. You know what I mean? Like, there's stuff that you guys can toe the line with, I'm sure, but use your best judgment. If you're even remotely worried about things being inappropriate or a little weird when it comes to shipping, absolutely err on the side of caution. Yeah, I hope that answered that question. Oh,
So
wait,
the
I can
next
also
one,
say I am
yeah.
pansexual, so don't be afraid. Like, I swing every direction.
2 hands and no directions to worry about. Amazing.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't shit me
These
with
things should be
actual pans. No, hold on a second now. Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. You can't make that joke anymore. It's 2026. Find new content. All right. What do we got next?
The next one is actually more about your ASMR work. So when
Sure.
you go about developing your ASMR plans, what that process tends to be like, and if you have anybody that you might want to role play with.
Yeah, I mean, I do have several people that I want to role play with. I'll probably leave that for the second part of this answer. But the process usually turns into a lot of work with my scriptwriter and voice acting director, who is Michaela Laws. I've been working with them for quite a while now. Anybody that's listened to my audio roleplay channel, which I think we just passed 2 years. I think I forgot to celebrate it, so I might have to celebrate that soon. So it usually comes in the form of I saw a trend or I saw an outfit that I thought would look really cool, or I came up with like a random idea, or even sometimes Michaela comes up with an idea and it's, hey, how can we develop this into a role play? How can we develop this into ASMR? How can we develop this into something that people will enjoy? And at first it started as a way for me to, it started as a way for me to enjoy improve my voice acting, because I was just starting out with voice acting and I was getting really frustrated with not being able to find roles. So we did a lot of early role plays, and you can definitely hear it, that were a lot more story inclined. And as time has gone on, we've started kind of leaning away from the story and more into the fun, like the short and sweet kind of aspects where we can kind of play with emotions, tug on heartstrings, and I can still play a character, but in a much less slow burn capacity, if that makes sense. And then I guess the other part of the question was if there are other people that I want to work with. There's a few ASMR audio roleplay people I'd like to work with. I don't know necessarily if I want to say who they are, because I don't want to put them on blast. I don't want people to just assume. But I have gotten the chance to work with a lot of amazing people, and I'm very fortunate enough to have friends that are willing to put up with me and kidnapping them and putting them in, a voice acting booth and going, hey, let's tease with the listener and have fun and be flirty and silly and a bit degen. Okay?
Great. So I had another person kind of asking questions about the ASMR work, and if there were any tips that you would give to somebody who's trying to go into a similar space as a VTuber and in the ASMR kind of type.
Sure. I don't know if I can necessarily give advice from the getting into it from that perspective, because I didn't start with it. I was always interested in voice acting, but I really didn't start getting into it in terms of like taking classes and lessons until like 2021-ish. But by that point, I had already been streaming for several years. Like I was a face cam streamer for many years before I was a VTuber. So I have a lot of background leading into all of that. But the biggest thing that I can say if you want to get into voice acting or audio roleplay is to just do it. Find a way to jump in. Find a way to create. Find a way to not wait on other people. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be even good. Just do it. Worry about improving later. And find something that excites you. You don't always have to lean into the most popular things in the world. I've experimented. I've stepped out of line on several occasions, but always do the things that you enjoy. But if you're looking for genuine just resources of getting into voice acting, you can always check out iwanttobeavoiceactor.com, and that's iwanttobeavoiceactor.com. Genuine actual website that has a ton of amazing resources. I know it sounds like a meme, but actually is. Yeah. I hope that answered.
So the next question is kind of rolling down through here. Queen Dark was wanting to comment first that you are a true professional and it shows in your work, and wanting to
Oh,
know if
thank
you
you.
had any BLs that were your favorites.
Any BLs?
Hmm.
Oh gosh. Man, I'm a bit of an old schooler. So there's like some really old ones from back in the day. I have not kept up with some of the newest artists out there. There's tons of artists that I like to follow. I don't know if it's necessarily like series that I keep up with that are BL. More so like I see an explicit like doujin or manga that I'm like, okay, I have to look at this. And I'm usually caught by a premise, a title, or art. And I mean, like, if I'm looking at like the old school, like Priapus was like one of the. I feel like that's such a gateway yaoi for like so many people to get into.
Like you have many
So,
fans here who are also part of the veteran yaoi community, so
mm,
there's many of us who would pick up those titles.
yeah. I'm trying to remember their name. I'm blanking really hard, but like I like to work out. In case. Wait, hold on. Let me do that. There we go. In case you guys couldn't tell, I very much like to work out. I'm very active. I'm very fit, and it very much shows in also the things that I like to not only commission art of, but the BL or the yaoi that I enjoy. So it tends to be it tends to be the stuff that I look for. So there are plenty of artists and series that I enjoy, but a lot of it tends to be the beefier, hot, sweaty, muscular men in those capacities. Not necessarily Bara, because sometimes I do think it goes a little too far, and then it's not my cup of tea. But yeah, so that's usually what I go for.
V was asking kind of a branch off question from that, so I will
Sure.
mention it now. You already said that a lot more of the musculature and like the muscle people are what tends to draw you in. Are there
Mm.
other styles of art or scenes that tend to get your attention?
Ooh, scenes. It's hard to like specify. I don't know if there's like a one scenario where I go, "Oh yes, that's mine. That's what I like to see." Um, as much as it is like if someone can sell me on a premise or a title or even the art style, I can usually like run with a premise, or like a story or like a scene. Like I've enjoyed like mafia stories. I've enjoyed like gym bros stories. I've enjoyed like childhood friends that haven't seen each other in a while, and one comes back being like super ripped, and the other one is like so into them. Like there's so many different genres that I'll mess with. But again, it's like I'll enjoy it because of title. I'll enjoy it because of art. I'll enjoy it because of the first panel that I read, and I'm like, cool, I'm in.
Another question from Marky. When it comes to recording the ASMR, there it sounds like there's
Mm.
probably been a lot of bloopers, and if there were
Oh
any
yeah.
bloopers that you think about, or stories that you find particularly funny when you look back on them.
Oh gosh. I think one of my favorites, and I don't remember if we recorded it for bloopers, but there's an entire NSFW audio that we made from a joke that we made while recording an audio roleplay that I'm still surprised YouTube was totally fine with, but then is not okay with other ones that we've done. Um, so if you guys watch or listen to my role plays and ASMR on Cup of Dusk Voices, there's one that I did last year where it's myself and another ASMR VTuber by the name of Jay. And Jay and I did this one where we were both ninjas, and we were like caught and like strung up in like very very much supposed to be like shibari like style stuff. And I'm not the biggest fan of shibari myself. Like I think it's cool. I don't go out of my way for it, but I thought it would make it for a cool scenario. We were joking in that we were like, what if after we escape we get stopped by a pack of like big, like sweaty orcs at the gate? And then that joking turned into reality. So that's always one that I think about. So that was fun. Yeah. Listen, for those of you that enjoy the what is it, Taimani Nasagi, but like yaoiified, because orcs are rated M for mature, but E for everyone, because men need orcs too, okay?
There's lots of appreciation for the orcs in the chat.
Listen, I'm a big fan.
Mm,
Monster men, I don't think get nearly as enough appreciation as monster women. I'm just saying, especially in BL and Yaoi, because it's like, man, there's so many good like Yaoi monsters that I'm just like, yes, please. So
there are so many. We've
yes,
had a few people streaming Y Press games, which are fantastic for
yeah.
monster, really, really hunky orcs.
Hmm. Okay, I hope that answered
Do
that.
you have a favorite collab that you've done?
Oh gosh, it's hard. It's hard to pick any just one. I think is always the answer I'm gonna say. Like it's really hard to just like say, hey, this is my favorite. I have
Mm,
people that in general that I really like working with. I can say working with Alpha Aniki is always one of my favorite times, because every time we're recording in the booth together, um, obviously he has significantly more experience than I do, in the voice acting world. If you guys know who he is, you know who he is. So, um, Alpha Aniki, working with him because we've done a couple audio role plays now. I've been friends with him for a couple years. He's given me tips on voice acting and helped me, find footing and make more friends in the VA scene. But every time I work with him, it is like I am watching like a mentor work and then being like, oh, I can do this with my voice, or I can do this with my inflection, or I can do this with my speed. And every time I work with him, I feel like I'm able to just level up immediately. So, yeah.
read through here and see what other questions I can catch. There was a recommendation for you asking if you'd read a manga called You're My World. It's an Omegaverse, and the Omega is a buff guy who is into judo. So, and that the Alpha is a pretty boy.
Oh, interesting. So, I might get shot for this. I'm not usually the biggest fan of Omegaverse. Not for the reasons that people think. I'm usually okay with the whole I love the whole idea of like marking. I love the whole idea of like heat and like being like sexually frustrated or sexually like pent up and like stuff like that. I think it always makes for really engaging scenarios. There's some aspects of Omegaverse that I'm just like, this is so fantasy that like it's so unrealistic that it takes me out. Usually the pregnancy takes me out because it's one of my favorite things about being a guy is that I can't get pregnant, and that if I'm with other men, I can't get them pregnant. So it's like I don't I don't like imagining the world where I can get a man pregnant.
That's so
So
real.
that's usually like where Omegaverse misses me. There are definitely scenarios, and like I said, if there's no pregnancy or mention of pregnancy or anything like that involved, I'm usually like, wow, this is great. Like I'm enjoying this. I'm in for this. But as soon as it's even remotely mentioned, I'm like, ooh, I'm out of here. See ya.
The very real fear starts creeping back in and just like, nah.
Yeah, it's just not. I understand why people like it. It is just not for me. So
Yeah,
there's plenty of other like fantasy things that I enjoy. That's just one of them that I don't.
totally understandable.
Yeah.
Um, Speaking of like kind of going back to ASMRs, are
Mm.
there roles or characters that you want to try to play more of or get more
Hmm.
opportunities to pick up?
This is gonna be embarrassing, but I'll say it because this is an 18 plus con. So one of the things that I was very much stuck on, and anybody that has followed me for a while will probably be able to understand the reasoning for this. So prior to the model that I have currently, prior to this, prior to the muscle, prior to the beef, and I've also actively taken workout progress pictures, so people can attest to the fact that I am as built as my model, if not bigger in the arms department. I did not always have a model that looked like this. I actually experimented very much with a femboy like twink body style. Um, and it was after I'd come off hiatus. It was after I had been experimenting with, maybe not necessarily gender identity, but gender expression, and how I was like, I really liked some of the femininity that I found with it. But then like I used the model for a while, and after about a month, I was like, oh wait, this isn't for me. So I kind of like changed from there. I also forgot what the question was. I forgot where I was going with this. Could you repeat the question for me? I'm so sorry. I got the himbo brain literally while I'm explaining. I'm so sorry.
No, we're 500% here for the tangents too.
Okay.
It was more about any kind of roles or characters that you might want to
Right,
try
right.
to push
Okay.
yourself to play more
So,
of.
got it. So, because I had that transition, I was still for a very long time, and I'm not even kidding when I say this, yesterday was my 1-year model anniversary for this model. And the reason I bring this all up is for a long time, I assumed that voice acting directors and my audience and the NSFW audience that I cater to, because I do spicy content on the Patreons. So I was very much under the impression that people preferred to see me or hear me in a bottoming position, much more to be in that sense. It only dawned on me maybe within the past couple of months, maybe like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, that no, it is the opposite of that. Now, luckily for me, I am a switch. I am a polypansexual switch. I don't make decisions. So I like hearing what other people think. I like hearing what other people enjoy. So more recently, because of that, roles that I've kind of been like wanting to try more of are more of those typically top leaning roles. So like a villain, super villain, like office worker that like takes the lead, your boss at a part-time job, childhood friend that like can't keep their eyes off you. Like there's so many different roles where I want to start engaging in those, because I thought that I didn't do them well, or I thought that people didn't want me to do them because I thought that they preferred me in that more like feminine bottom stereotyped role. Yeah.
The general sentiment is that we approve of the himbo top and that the service switch energy is fantastic.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Thank you, guys.
Let's see. And actually, someone had actually just asked that after the previous question about if we wanted to voice more
Sure.
top switches or bottoms. So you kind of answered that yourself, where you want to do a
Sure.
little bit more of the top side, which is
Yeah,
really
I can.
exciting.
Yeah, I can expand on that as well. I always consider myself to be a switch, and that's a big reason that I just want people to be happy in terms of either it being fan art or the content that I make, or whatever else, just enjoyment, general overall. However, I would be lying if I said I didn't enjoy flexing into the top role now. Very, very, very much has been a fun endeavor. And I'm kind of embracing the himbo energy that goes with that, and also kind of leaning into the yes, top energy. You can absolutely tell. So it has been very fun to lean into that, because for the longest time I thought people didn't want that. So now that I'm like, oh, they do, let me experiment, and I'm like, oh, I tasted this. I like this. Yes, give me more. But yeah.
The top awakening art.
Something like that. It's funny too, because I had several individuals that I reached out to when I kind of had the realization, and they were like, yeah, of course we see you more at the top. What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, for how long? And they're like, what do you mean? So that's always a really fun thing. So, yeah.
The next question is, are there any plots or concepts that you want to try out or experiment with in future content?
I can probably answer this in SFW and NSFW, because obviously they're very different fields. For SFW, obviously I have to adhere to YouTube guidelines. I can't go too spicy, too horny, too degenerate, or anything like that. But ironically, something now that I'm kind of like, I'm more confident in my voice acting skills, and I'm comfortable enough to kind of deviate from the storytelling aspect of the role plays that I was doing before, and instead kind of lean into audience enjoyment, which definitely comes with some YouTube level spice. I've tried learning from more visual novels and gacha style games. So Love and Deep Space is something that I've done research into. New Carnival, I'm sure if you guys follow me on Twitter, you saw that I had like a bout of like a month where I just couldn't shut up about it. But there's been times where I'm very much like investigating those. I'm seeing why people like them, trying to kind of develop an understanding as to why they're so popular. So those are probably two of the big things that I'm trying to understand better and to incorporate that into my roleplay style more and the ASMR style more. And I don't know if I necessarily have plots that I'm leaning into with that, but that style is very much what I'm trying to gather more of. And for the NSFW side, well, since I had the top awakening, it's kind of just let me see what my audience wants to see me in, and let's just get silly with it. But for the most part, I'm just doing the NSFW art more than anything else. So, yeah.
The chat is demanding to know who your mains are in both Love and Deep Space and New Carnival.
So, unfortunately, I could not keep playing the games. I had to do research by watching videos of like scenarios and getting like seeing art of the characters, mainly because I don't have the free time. I just straight up don't have the time to play the games myself.
It's so rude. We lose so many hours to gacha.
Yeah, ironically, I did actually play Love and Deep Space once on stream, and I got level walled, and I have not gone back to playing it since. They were like, you have to complete this amount of content to continue in the story, and I was like, no. And I just started reading stuff. So, but I do enjoy it a lot. A lot of the stories and the scenarios that I've read, I think are really fun. I really like a lot of the characters. I'm not gonna say which of the boys are my favorite because I feel like that'll start a war. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna freak out about the characters that I like and dislike. But I have had a lot of fun with getting into both of them. So, yeah.
They're encouraging you to speak the truth.
Okay, I can say ones that I especially like without dissing others. In Love and Deep Space, Zane ended up being someone that I enjoyed more than I thought I was going to, mainly because I like how a lot of his scenarios play out. Not necessarily like base Zane, but like for some reason, something about him in like oh my god, why can't I remember the name of it? It's the one where they're demons summoned and kind of like being like chained up and like toyed with. Thank you. Yes. So yeah. that's the Zane where I was like, oh, I get Zane now. I understand. Wait, I understand him now. I get it. But then in the same way, I feel like Silas has always been like an I see you. You're not necessarily my favorite, but you're always a good choice kind of thing. So, yeah. In New Carnival, it quite literally how vulgar can I be in my speech?
Oh, please be as vulgar as you'd like to be.
In New Carnival, it's whoever has the fattest tits. I mean, like, it's Olivine and it's Quincy. Like, I am very much a chest person. I am absolutely I like a big chest. And again, not necessarily Bara, but I do. It's why it's why I like a little. I like a little. You know what I'm saying? So, very much like them. I think those are like my big ones that I really enjoyed. So, yeah. I would say so. Oh, and Edmund. Edmund's default outfit. It should not look that good being like a one lit, but the way it hugs his body is really nice. So that's all good. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Have you voiced in any games yet?
Yeah, so yes, there are two that I can talk about, and then obviously more that I can't talk about. More recently, a game came out called Poly Armory, which is like a dating sim style, also like Call of Duty Zombies survival type game where you are kind of having a psychotic break in a post-apocalyptic world, and you're what's the phrase? You're scared. I can't remember the name or the phrase, but like you're so paranoid of the government that you're like out in a bunker in the middle of nowhere, and you're just trying to get into a relationship with your guns. I am one of the guns. I play the character named Viper. If you guys are familiar with that at all, so have fun. They are a golden revolver. I very much enjoyed playing them. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. They reached out to me specifically for that role, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, have fun. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have some fun. So normally I will say, normally I would not take that kind of role, and the reason I say that is because I think the developers explained that they wrote Viper to be non-binary, and I am cis male, cis pansexual male. And I explained that to them, and I was like, hey, listen, I don't identify as non-binary. I'm not trans. I am cis male. And I explained it several times, and I was like, are you sure that this is okay? Are you sure you want me for this role? Like, why do you want me for this role, kind of thing? And they were like, we really like your voice. We think you'll be able to do something. And I was like, okay, cool. So long as you understand, and I can talk about it and accepting the role and everything like that. And I had a lot of fun with the role. The character's amazing. The character's super fun. Viper is very much the party character, if that makes sense. They're like, let's go do explicit narcotics and drugs and then have a fun time together, kind of thing. And it was very much a role that I hadn't stepped into before, but it was a really fun time.
The premise of the game alone.
Oh yeah, it's so, like, I'm not kidding. It's called polyarmory, not polyamory. Polyarmory, like an armory of guns. Is it out? Yes, it's free on Steam, so go check it out. It came out, I think, on Valentine's Day. I've been keeping that one under wraps for like a year. So in terms of I have one other that I am very proud of too. The demo is for free on Steam as well. It's called lovebite.exe. I play the main character by the name of Equinox Angeldine. I was like, what's the last name? I was thinking about it for a second. Equinox Angeldine. It is inspired by like Mystic Messenger, where you are going through lots of chat rooms, talking with various people, and the idea is that you have a Kami Oshi, who is Equinox Angeldine. For those of you that are VTuber fans, it means they're your one go-to VTuber. You love them above everyone else. And I play that VTuber. So the demo is voiced. You can go and listen to what I've recorded so far. And I believe they're still working on more stuff. Obviously, the full game is not out yet, but you can enjoy the demo. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and there's merch. Yeah, if you go to the Kickstarter. So a lot of good times. Good times. Good times.
Just following everybody freaking out in the chat. One question I did see earlier, and I kind of paused because I wanted to let everybody kind of get the industry questions out of the way. Somebody was asking your current thoughts on RE9, and I know that you were going to be playing it. Do you have any spoiler-free thoughts that you can share yet, especially about our Dilf Leon?
No, because I haven't played it yet. I opted to delay playing it by about a week so I could continue to participate in District V. Since District V is a 12-day limited streaming event with GTA 5 roleplay, I decided to, instead of panicking and trying to get in, RE9 fast and then probably rush through it and then maybe miss some things, I decided to just delay it a week, prioritize District V, and then next week I'm going to play Resident Evil 9. But I am a massive Resident Evil fan. The thing that makes me laugh, a lot of people are like, "Oh my God, like what are they feeding Leon? Like he's so massive, he's so beefy." And I'm like, first of all, yes, he does look great, but it always baffles me because he's not as big as Chris was in RE5, And people are acting like this is the beefiest man they've ever seen. I don't even think he's bigger than Chris was in RE8. And I think he looks great, but people are like, they've never seen someone put on muscle before. Like, I have arms like Leon. And you can check my progress pictures as proof. I literally have arms like Leon. So, I think Leon's great. He's actually my favorite Resident Evil character, which I know is a little bit basic, but I think he looks great. For some reason, I've never been like a wooga over him. I'm like, that is a hot man. I'm very appreciative to be playing as a hot man and seeing him do hot man things. But I think it's just because I've been playing Resident Evil for so long that I have moved past that. I'm like, he's more than a hot man. He's a survivor. Leon cosplay when? I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be in enough shape for that. Cosplay is so scary sometimes.
Marky is asking what exactly you like to do outside of videos and streaming other than working out.
Yeah, so main channel of YouTube, which luckily is just Roy Chiato. I mentioned this earlier. I am a massive Power Rangers fan, as well as Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. Recently also starting to get into Gavan because, you know, new season airing. But because of that, I create now content on Power Rangers and Tokusatsu as a whole. Very regularly. I try to do it once every 2 weeks, maybe 3 if I need to push it. I will react to Power Rangers related content on my stream where I do deep dives into previous seasons. I will force my friends to come with me and I will yap at them for hours on end. I jokingly call these Power Rangers indoctrinations. I was actually a guest at Power Morphicon in 2024 virtually, where we put on a panel doing basically the same thing where we yapped about Power Rangers. It was awesome. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. From there, I then continued this love of Power Rangers and Tokusatsu, and I started finally making my own. I think it was back in November. I put out my first like full-length video of trying something to make for myself, and it's a deep dive into Kamen Rider Hibiki. So if anybody's a fan of Kamen Rider, if anybody's a fan of Super Sentai, definitely check out the main channel because you'll see I do that kind of stuff too. I am actively working on my next video, which is Bakuryu Sentai Aba Ranger, which was Power Rangers Dino Thunder's source material, if you're familiar with that. So that video should be out probably before the end of March. Before the end of March.
So exciting. We've had a few Kamen Rider panels here this year. We had a watch party for Kamen Rider Kuga this morning, which was really exciting and fun.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's very
so
on topic for this year's con.
No pain. So good. Kuga is what sold me on Kamen Rider.
Indoctrination for CitrusCon.
Oh, absolutely. I'll put on a whole panel where I just stop a video that's 3 hours long and make it an 8-hour long panel. You guys will be stuck with me.
Let's go.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I started with Kamen Rider Ichigo when it got put on Tubi back in 2020? I don't remember the year, but it finally being accessible was like why I got into it. And I was already starting to get into Super Sentai by that point, so yeah. Yippee! You guys have any more questions? Please feel free. Hit me with your biggest degeneracies. Hit me with your biggest curiosities. Hit me with your biggest whatever you want.
In the feral question portion of the panel.
Yes, feral portion question of the panel. Take your wildest guesses or your wildest swings. I'm here.
Here's one.
We're having a good time.
What is your approach to kinks or fetishes? Do you have to be into the content to do an ASMR or RP?
It depends on what it is. I know that's kind of like a pretty generic answer, but there are certain things that I stray away from because I'm just like, either I'm just not into it or I can't understand the mentality of it. It's not like I'm a repulsed by it thing, but there are certain kinks and certain scenarios that I've been like, this doesn't really appeal to me, and I don't understand the appeal, so I don't think I would make a convincing performance trying to make something like this happen. And the same goes for art. There are certain like kinks and art scenarios that I'm like, I don't really know about that. And obviously, I'm not going to just put out a giant list of these are my favorite things. These are the things that I don't like, because it's just going to be too long. But I promise you, if you watch my content, if you watch me on stream, if you look at any of the audio roleplay stuff I post, or if you look at any of the spicy content I post on Patreon, you will absolutely know the types of things that I'm into. I make it very, very obvious where my interests lie.
So it's more of a case of wanting to be able to do it earnestly if you're going to do it.
Yeah, because there are certain things that I'm just like, that's not my cup of tea, so I don't think I'll be able to give this a convincing performance. However, there are exceptions to that, just like there are for everything. And that usually comes in the form of me working with a director, a voice director, that is like, hey, this is how I want it to sound, because then it changes it from kink and it changes it into voice acting, which is obviously like that's what it is at the end of the day anyway. But when it's transformed out of the kink, out of the fetish, and into a scenario, then it becomes easier. But I need somebody else to kind of throw that at me. They need to have the knowledge, because I don't understand it.
That makes so much sense. Someone's posting screenshots of one of your videos. I think it was with Rikami.
That is with Rikami, yes. Yeah, bunny suits.
What do you consider the easiest part of your VA work, and what do you consider the hardest?
I haven't done it in a while because it is just a lot. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a secret right now. NSFW VA is can I curse?
Yeah.
NSFW VA is fucking hard. It is the hardest fucking thing you will ever do. And anybody that says otherwise has not done it before. I had a session for something that I can't talk about, where it was like an hour of voice acting and then like 4 hours of NSFW stuff after that. I have never been that exhausted doing more work just for voice acting. NSFW VA is hard because it's breath control, it's exhausting, you get lightheaded, you get dehydrated really easily, you have to make it convincing, you still have to act while you're doing it, because if you're playing a character, you need to make sure that it has their character quirks and interesting notions of them. It is really, really hard. But easiest part, ironically, is something that I think people think is really hard, but is something that I really, really like doing, because I don't know why I like it or why I'm good at it, but apparently it's a common thing to like it. It's not a common thing to be good at it. I love doing what we call efforts. For those of you that aren't into voice acting, efforts means like grunts and groans and especially screams or battle cries. I freaking love doing them. They're so much fun to incorporate. They're so much fun to work in. I really like, some of you may be like, wow, Roy, why do you like force the grumble in the back of your throat? That's just how I speak. And because of that, it's really easy for me to like force more of it and scream with it. And I love the way it sounds. It's just really fun. So I cannot give a yeehaw, unfortunately. It is very late. People will wake up and yell at me. My neighbors will be like, why are you talking about porn? Why are you talking about smut? Why are you talking about titties? What's happening?
So I guess that brings up the question of, do you normally record your ASMR stuff at home, or do you record at a studio?
Yes. I don't think I've actually recorded anything in a studio yet. I do have a booth in my closet. It is called a vocal booth to go. It is a heavily treated booth, for lack of a better phrase, and I have all my recording equipment in there. Yeah, it could be better. There's definitely quality improvements that I can make, but it's been good enough for me to work on all of the projects that I work on. So
gotta stop keep putting all the VAs in closets. It's really bad.
It's okay. I go in and out of the closet all the time. It's fine.
As long as there's a swinging door, we're okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. But it is more like a sweat box sometimes because I come out of there after 30 minutes of screaming and I am drenched, let me tell you.
Unsure if this is a question that you feel comfortable answering or not. But
Sure.
with the amount of fan art that you get of your model, it probably brings you joy. But are there some things that you prefer seeing from others or that you enjoy seeing the most? Obviously, you don't want to be disparaging towards things that you maybe don't want to see.
I don't know if there's anything that I've seen that I've been like, ooh, I wish they didn't do that. I think I have seen this once or twice, and it's so rare that I feel like I don't mention it. This kind of goes back to the shipping question too. Don't ship me with people that I don't interact with. There are people that I very much look up to, and people that have inspired me to do what I want to do. I won't name who they are because I don't want you to then just go out and make art of us together, because that's when it's weird. If I've genuinely never interacted with another person and I'm just like, man, I really like this person, they inspired me to do what I do, and then you draw us, doing it doggy style, that's weird. I think that's inappropriate. However, because I am accepting of NSFW art, I'm very open with this kind of conversation. I like looking good. I like looking sexy. I mean, like, I have this freaking arm flex toggle for a reason. I talk about working out all the time. I talk about hot sweaty man tits all the time. I think it's very obvious the type of art and the type of things that I enjoy, and you can see it in the artists that I usually commission. So there's obvious trends for you to follow. I won't say, hey, you have to do this, because that's stupid. I don't want to stifle anyone's creativity. Do what you like, but if you're looking for inspiration, check out my Twitter or check out my NSFW Twitter. Though the NSFW Twitter is, I think, more so things that people vote on, because usually it's Patreon that's voting for the art that I get. But I will occasionally, procure my own smut that I enjoy. So if you'd like to see things, go there. Yeah, I hope that
Self-cessed, according to chat.
Okay. So self-cessed is great. I discovered it recently. Not like discovered. Obviously, I've known what it is. But the funny thing is, and I know this is a YowieCon, but I will talk about some straight stuff for a second. So at a couple months ago, last year, one of my friends made a joke about how having a female variant of yourself is fantastic because you can get all these different art scenarios with you fucking yourself, for lack of a better phrase. And I was like, wait a minute, you might be cooking there. So I created that female variant of myself almost entirely for that reason, because I think it was really funny, and I really liked how it turned out. But then even more so recently, for those of you that remember me talking about this before or watched me forever ago, I used to have a femboy or twink model. I have recently revived that design and just given them a different name to now involve them in different scenarios. So that way I can come back to having like the body type difference and stuff like that. Yeah, Cooter maxing. That's crazy. Listen, I know what I am, okay? I enjoy things.
You're among the right audience for it.
I hope so.
Obviously.
I hope so. This is a judgment-free zone, right?
Oh, absolutely. All you have to do is take a look through any of the chats and you will see that.
Gosh, I hope so. I really need to see a recap of some of these things. I gotta see the smut, guys. She'll be your favorite. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I hope that explains the self-cessed joke.
Any other questions? I think somebody asked what your favorite drink was, which, just
Coffee.
Unrelated of anything. What's your favorite drink?
Coffee. I mean, my name is Roy Chiato, like a macchiato. What, in it? Black? No, I usually put a splash of non-fat milk. No sugar, no creamer, no fancities, just a splash of non-fat milk in coffee. What kind of coffee? Any coffee that I can get. I usually prefer dark roasts though, because I like a little bit of bitterness, which is why the milk helps, because then it balances out the bitter and brings out more flavor. You know? Milk though, I'm not lactose intolerant, so I do enjoy milk.
Are you still cooking or baking? And what is your favorite food?
Yeah, if I cook or bake, it's baking usually. I mean, I cook for myself every day. Like, it's what I'm gonna do. But, in terms of what is my favorite? I love baking. I just don't do it very often because then I want to eat everything that I bake, and sometimes that's not good. I've made things like tiramisu. I've made a chocolate raspberry cake recently. I made a strawberry shortcake recently. I love baking in general. So. Favorite food though, burgers or sushi. I know that's basic and generic, but it's like old reliable. You know what I mean? Old reliable.
Appreciate the funny boy VTuber who can bake.
That's true. And I saw somebody ask about protein powder. I use protein powder and creatine as well.
In your coffee or separately?
No, separately. Other things. I'm not a crazy person, okay? I may count my calories, but I'm not so insane that I feel like I need to combine protein powder into my coffee. That's insane. Yeah, any other questions, comments, curiosities, concerns, degeneracies? Cake does sound pretty good right now, though. I could go for some cake. Oh, it's bigger. Your ears or your feet? Probably my... Wait, hold on. My ears are between 6 and 9 inches. Because I just didn't give them an actual height, so it's just easier to say that. I don't know how big my feet are in character. I assume my actual shoe size IRL, which is, I don't know how many inches that is either. So that's a good question. I have no idea. Good question. But I don't have.
Answer this one for us.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have like big feet. I have pretty average. I'm pretty average in terms of like male size, in terms of like height and shoe size. So use that information as you will.
Foot VTuber model.
No, I don't really have a foot fetish. I know a lot of other people do, and hey, listen, if you enjoy it, go for it. That is one of the things that I would like maybe like tease people about or like poke at with like art or like an RP scenario, but it is not something that like intrinsically interests me. It is something that I am incredibly indifferent to.
So is it hands then? If we're ever asking what V's asking?
No, I said it already, guys. It's tits. Come on. I said it already. Thank you. Does my model have a tail? I don't think so, because you can't see that part of my back. So it's only like a little tail, so yeah. Yes, a chest man through and through. Absolutely. That's amazing. I love that gif. Freud back reveal. I mean, it's on my ref sheet, which is always in my pinned tweet on Twitter. So it's not like I'm hiding it. Go see it. I literally post it every week. Do I actually like bunnies IRL? So funny thing, I was talking with a friend about this. I actually don't like bunnies as pets IRL. I think bunnies naturally are really cute, and if another person has a bunny, great. But I would never want a bunny as a pet. Because I've had friends that have had them, and I've seen like the atrocities they have to go through of having a rabbit as a pet, and it's, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I can't do it. But I do think they're adorable. I think watching them eat is really cute. Seeing some of the silliness of like them stomping their feet, you know, like there's really silly, stupid stuff that bunnies do that I enjoy. Bunnies are not my favorite animal though, and bunny was not my first choice for Roy here. So, yeah, it was actually tiger. But when I looked at making a VTuber model initially, there were multiple tiger male VTubers and not a single male bunny when I looked around. This was back in 2020, 2021. So.
Do you have a pet, or what is your favorite animal?
Tiger is my favorite animal. And I do have a pet cat. His name is Cedric, who you may have been hearing meow randomly while we've been here. He's like normal, like house cat sized. He's an old man. He is 16 turning 17. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're always baby. Always.
Not the 6 or 7 joke. I'm sorry.
That's crazy. I'm screaming geometrically.
Any last minute dire need questions?
Yeah, if anybody wants to know anything,
Or
please. Open book if you guys have any crazy things that you want to know. Oh, there we go. That's an easy one. Am I going to any conventions this year? In April, so not that far away, I am going to WeebCon. I will be there in person. I'm doing an IRL meet and greet there. I will have merch for sale, merch that I've never sold before. So, yeah. ASMR mic reveal. It's a Audio Technica AT 2020. I'm not hiding it. Hot anime men rank. My taste would be like people would kill me. Like they'd be like, "What do you think about Gojo?" And I'm like, "I guess he's okay." Like, a pretty anime boy, white hair, cool eyes. Yeah. Is he hot? Yeah, probably. Favorite Power Ranger? Adam. MMPR black, green Zeo, green turbo. Easy. Is there online merch? I don't believe so, because it is not an online con. It is a in-person con. Opinions on Ninjago? Never seen it. So no opinion. Feel free to cut me off whenever. We're rapid firing these. I'm going through as many as I can as I see them. Brand new VTuber myself. Do you have any advice for anyone wanting to or starting to get into VTubing? Stream first with a PNG. See if you even like streaming or making content. Streaming is not the only thing you can do as a content creator. Make sure there are other things that you enjoy to do. Find something you're passionate about and find a way to share that with people. Eventually, I spun from, like, I tried so many things. I had a failed YouTube channel where I did baking. I was a speedrunner. I made Power Rangers content before I did now. Then flash forward into VTubing. And then I ended up making Power Rangers content again. So, yeah. Is that the only con you'll be going to this year? I don't know. WeebCon I am a guest at. No other cons have either announced me or invited me that I can talk about at present. So, I'd assume so for right now. I'm open to going to more conventions, especially in Texas, but I need to have an invite most of the time because of money. Things are expensive. It's expensive to travel, and I have to take time off IRL job. So Favorite weapon?
Any favorite
Scythe.
weapon?
Scythe.
Okay.
Chakrams are also cool too because I like Dancer in Final Fantasy 14. So. Please let the cons invite him. Trust me, I'd love to go. Oh yeah, I play a lot of 14. I've been playing since just after 1.0 ended is when I started playing 14. So when ARR was still in beta. Hey, if you need more Roy, I'm out there. Tons of ways to find me. Twitch, YouTube, audio roleplay channel, Patreon if you need some spicy smut.
Our links for you.
What happened?
Marky posted all of your links.
Oh, thank you. Can't check it out.
We are at our time, so if you have anything else that you want to add, if you want to hang out and chat, then please feel free. But we were happy to let you escape if you want to go off and get some sleep or anything else. We wanted to thank you for your time, though, because this was excellent.
Yeah, of course. And if you guys need anything else from me, or if you want to talk to me, check me out on social media. And yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I had a blast getting to talk to you guys. You guys were way more tame than I thought you were going to be. Damn, where the DJs at?
I don't know where all the feral ones went. I don't know. Maybe
where did everybody go?
Or something. I'm going to check it.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Well, thank you so much for having me. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.